Alright, duelists, my name is Senkara, and today we are going to be looking at the Dark World Structure Deck combos, or I should rather say the Dark World Structure Deck combo, because there's really only one you need to know. The Dark World Structure Deck is not so much of a combo deck as it is more of a, shall we say, resource gathering deck. So that is the main point of the combo here, is just to get a ton of resources which you can then use to go into all of your other Dark World effects by discarding, drawing more cards, getting off all those combos, and just summoning a whole bunch of boss monsters. So let's get right into the combo. Okay, for this combo you're only going to need two cards. You're going to need your Rainbow, Overking of Dark World, and most importantly, your Genta, Gateman of Dark World. Now technically this combo does work if you only have Genta, but it works a hell of a lot better if you have Rainbow as well. Genta is the main starter card of the deck. He's the one that you want to see in your hand. He gets everything going, and Rainbow just adds onto it. So to start off, when you have these two cards in your hand, what you're going to want to do is activate Genta's effect. Genta will discard himself to the graveyard and allow you to add your Gates of Dark World to the hand. Then with Gates of Dark World, you'll put in the field spell zone and use its effect, banishing your Genta and discarding your Rainbow to draw one card. Next, you're going to activate Rainbow's effect, and you're going to chain link 2 on the Genta. This will prevent your Rainbow from being Ash Blossomed. Then Genta's effect is going to activate first, special summoning him to the field, and Rainbow's effect will allow you to add a level 5 or higher Dark World monster from your deck to the hand. Now, at this point, if you already have Grapha in your hand, then you probably want to add your Silver, but if you don't have if you don't already have Grapha, then you're going to add your Grapha to the hand. Next up, we're going to use Rainbow's effect from the graveyard, returning our Genta to the hand, and special summoning Rainbow from the graveyard. Now, if you only have one copy of the Dark World Structure deck, then obviously this is where this combo sort of ends. However, if you have 3 copies of the Dark World Structure deck, or even just 2, then you're going to have multiple copies of your Gates of Dark World. So in that case, what you're going to do is once again activate Genta's effect. Because Genta's effect is not a hard once per turn, you can discard him to add a Gates of Dark World from your deck to the hand, activating that again, using Gates effect again, banishing your Genta, discard your Grapha, and draw one card. Now, Genta's effect does not activate this time, as his special summon effect is only a hard once per turn. So what you're going to do now is activate Grapha's effect, returning your Rainbow to the hand, and special summoning your Grapha from the graveyard. So right off the bat, this combo leaves you with a 3000 attack point boss monster, a Rainbow in the hand ready to discard to add your Silver, as well as 2 extra cards in your hand. Keep in mind that if this is just your first turn, then you're already going to have 3 extra cards in your hand as well, leaving you with a total of 6 or 7. So basically all we've done here is gone +1 and summon a 3000 attack point boss monster, and now you have 5 other cards in your hand that you can use to continue to discard your Rainbow, add a Silver to your hand, and just continue playing off of that, drawing more cards, and really just replenishing your resources, activating everything, discarding a whole bunch of stuff, getting off all your Dark World effects, with of course the main goal to summon your fusion version of Grapha. Okay, so there you have it. That was the main and pretty much only combo of the Dark World Structure deck, requiring only 2 cards, your Rainbow and your Genta. Now, there are of course other Dark World combos that you can use, but they can only really be pulled off if you have monsters in your extra deck other than, of course, the Grapha fusion monster. You need like Link monsters, Akashic Magician, Macracker, that's what it's called, stuff like that to really get those extra combos off. But since we're only looking at the Dark World Structure deck itself, specifically combining 3 of them, this is basically the only combo. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into Dueling Book, and we're going to have a look at how this combo plays out and what to do after it, because that's, it's just an opener, right? This is your opening combo, this is what you want to do, and then you've got a whole bunch of plays to go off after that. So if you're running my version of the 3 times Dark World Structure deck, then this is what your hand is going to look like most of the time. Almost every time you open, you're going to have a Rainbow and a Genta. So, just like I described before, we're going to activate Genta's effect, discarding him to the graveyard, and adding our Gates of Dark World to the hand. Next, we're going to use our Gates of Dark World. Oh, turn on the sound. There we go. Next, we're going to use our Gates of Dark World to banish the Genta from our graveyard, discard our Rainbow, and draw one card. Next we're going to activate Rainbow's effect and chain our Genta. Genta's effect will go first, special summoning it to the field, and then Rainbow's effect will activate. We do not have a Grapha in our hand, so we're going to add Grapha straight to our hand. And then we're going to use Genta's effect, then we're going to use Rainbow's effect to return Genta to the hand and special summon our Rainbow to the field. Now once again we're going to discard our Genta to add a second copy of the Gates of Dark World to our hand. We're going to get rid of our current Gates of Dark World and activate the second Gates of Dark World. And then we're going to use our Gates of Dark World to discard. Now in this case we could discard the Brow, but there's not really any reason to. It'll probably get ditched by one of the dangers, at least by Mothman's effect. So we're going to discard our Grapha. We're going to banish our Genta, then discard our Grapha and draw one card. Alright, Dark World Accession. That is precisely exactly what we want to see. That is really good. So now, especially now, we're going to bounce our Rainbow to the hand to activate Grapha's effect in the graveyard, special summoning him to the field. Now we have a 3000 attack point boss monster. We've got Dark World Accession, we've got a Rainbow in our hand, and we have 3 dangers to go off, and a Brow for extra draw power. This is insane. Like, this is a pretty bonkers starting hand, and already we have a boss monster as well as that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to set our Dark World Accession. We're going to activate the effect of, let's say, Danger Bigfoot, revealing him. We're going to discard this one. It is our Brow. Love that very much. We're going to special summon our Bigfoot and draw one card. And then of course Brow's effect activates on discard, allowing us to draw again. And we've got more cards to go off. This is just absolutely fantastic. Now, so next what we're going to do, we do have a card destruction. That is definitely a viable option to discard all of these and card destruction, draw 4 more. I'm just going to set our card destruction for now, and we're going to continue off with our dangers. So next we're going to activate the effect of our Danger Thunderbird. Reveal, discard this one, it is the Bigfoot. Special summon our Thunderbird, and draw 1 card. At this point, Bigfoot's effect activates. If your opponent has a face-up card on the field, Bigfoot will destroy it. Also, earlier, I forgot to mention that when you discard Grapha, he destroys a card as well. Fantastic! Alright, Skill Drain. That is really great. We love to see Skill Drain. We'll set that. And we'll activate the effect of our Mothman, revealing Mothman. Surprised we haven't hit Grapha yet, Rainbow yet. Oh, that's disappointing. We lose our Mothman, but then when Mothman is discarded, its effect activates, allowing both players to draw 1 card and discard a card, and there is our Silver. That is precisely the card that we were missing. Of course, we're going to discard our Rainbow once again. Rainbow's effect will activate from the graveyard, allowing us to add a second copy of Silver to our hand. We could also go for a Grapha, but since we've already got the Grapha at this point, it's probably best to just add the Silver. But although we have a session, so adding a second Grapha might not be that bad of an idea. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to add a Grapha just to really get more plays off, and I'm going to show you just how good this can go. So we're going to activate our Dark World Accession, and we're going to use it to fuse our Silver and our Grapha by discarding them. Grapha's effect can activate, I believe, a second time. Yes, Grapha's effect can activate again, causing you to destroy one of your opponent's cards if they have one. And then we're going to fusion summon our Grapha Dragon Overlord of the Dark World. And then from the graveyard, the effect of Silver activates, special summoning him to the field. Then we're going to use Rainbow's effect, returning Silver to the hand to special summon Rainbow to our field. And then we're going to use our Grapha's effect, returning Rainbow to the hand and special summoning out our Grapha. So at this point, you could actually, and I think I would, yes, card destruction. We're going to discard both our Silver and our Rainbow to draw 2 more cards. Just seriously, we can just keep going. There is nothing stopping us, and that's just brilliant. That is fantastic to see. Rainbow's effect and Silver's effect will activate. We'll change Silver second, so Silver will special summon to the field. Rainbow's effect will allow us to add a second copy of Silver to our hand, which is brilliant. And then, of course, we're going to bounce our Silver from the field to special summon Rainbow from the graveyard. And the best part is, we're still not done! We've got Dark World Dealings next to draw 1 card and discard a card. Now, it's not necessary that you want to do that right now since you have no room for the Silver, and Silver would be the obvious discard. I would probably actually not do that in this case, though. Depends your heart of the cards, you might draw something good. It definitely wouldn't be a bad play to do that. But right here, we can stop for now. We can set our Dark World Accession, so that way we can trigger off Dark World Accession on the opponent's turn and maybe interrupt some plays. But even if you don't, you have Grapha, Dragon Overlord of Dark World. So the first time that your opponent activates a monster effect, a normal spell, or a normal trap, Grapha's effect will change that effect to your opponent discards one card, meaning that we discard our silver. Of course, if you had less monsters on the field, silver would then be special summoned, and then silver's effect will activate since it was discarded by an opponent's card effect, forcing your opponent to return 2 of their cards from the hand to the bottom of the deck. And then on top of that, we have Skill Drain. I call that GG. I would call that a straight up, that's like good game, good game. You just negated a spell or trap, you've negated all monster effects, you can have Dark World Accession as well, and if you do the Dark World Accession, you can banish this, you can banish this from the graveyard, and then you can, when Silver's effect goes off, assuming that you did it second, you then would special summon your Silver again, and you've still got a field full of boss monsters. You have 6 worthy boss monsters on the field with this strategy. Just like that, 6 3,000 attack point monsters almost on the field, 1 negate all monster effects. That is ridiculous. That is completely insane, and you can still keep going. And of course, next turn you can go off of your Gates of Dark World. We're going to draw another card. We've got 2 Dark World dealings. You can just keep going. You can keep going. Your opponent is unlikely to break this board. It's going to be very difficult. They can try Dark Hole, it'll just get negated. They can try a monster effect, it'll get negated. You have well over 9,000 points of damage on this field. That is ridiculous. Let's reset the deck and see what other sort of hand we can get. Most hands will come up with your Rainbow Genta combo. We're just going to look into the Rainbow Genta combo, so I'm probably going to reset this though. Not bad. Actually, we have a Genta. We can go off of this. I'm going to just show you how to play with this sort of hand as well. So we're going to activate the Genta effect, of course, discard Genta, add our Gates of Dark World to the hand. That is the main combo, is the Genta Gates of Dark World. We're going to activate Gates of Dark World, banish the Genta from our graveyard, discard our Grapha or our Brow. We're going to discard our Brow in this, no, we're going to discard our Grapha, sorry, and draw 1 card. Genta's effect will then activate, special summoning him to the field. Grapha's effect activates 2, destroying one of your opponent's cards. Great, we have Snow on the field. Next we're going to bounce our Genta, special summon out our Grapha, just like we did with Rainbow. And then we're going to activate Genta's effect again, discarding our Genta, and adding a Gates of Dark World to the hand. Alright, next we're going to pitch our Gates of Dark World to activate a second one, banish the Genta from the graveyard, and at this point you could discard your Brow, getting off his extra draw effect, but what I'm going to do is now discard the Snow to draw 1 card. And of course, Dark World Archives, that's fantastic, that is absolutely fantastic. Snow's effect is now going to activate, allowing us to add our Dark World Accession to our hand, which we can then use to fusion summon our powerful Grapha. We've got a Silver in the hand, we'll have Grapha on the field, we've got a Grapha loaded in the graveyard. Before all of that though, there's still a lot more plays we can make. We're going to activate Dark World Archives. We're going to use its effect to discard our Brow, increasing Grapha's attack. Then Brow's effect will activate, allowing us to draw a card. And Archive's effect will chain as well, allowing us to discard 1 and draw 2. From there, our Silver will then special summon itself. May not have been the best move to discard the Silver, by the way, but I just wanted to have him on the field. So next up, we of course have another Genta. We're going to discard our Genta, add our Gates of Dark World to the hand, our second copy. Get rid of our copy of Gates of Dark World on the field and go at it all again. Of course, we don't have a Fiend monster on the field at the moment, so there was no point in doing that. I would probably just end instead, yeah, that was kind of a stupid move, I wasn't really thinking, but I would probably just rather end with the Silver in the hand, Dark World Accession. Yeah, so I'd rather keep Silver in the hand. We use Dark World Accession to fuse the Grapha on the field with, say, the Brow in our graveyard. And then go ahead and special summon Grapha, Dragon Overlord. He'll have 3,500 attack thanks to the field spell. We can then set our Skill Drain, set our Punishment. And while that is a much less impressive field in terms of boss monsters, that is still Completely ridiculous. Reason is, we have Grapha to negate an effect, basically negate an effect, cause us to discard our silver, buy an opponent's card effect, they return 2 cards from their hand to the bottom of the deck, we then special summon our silver for an extra boss monster. As soon as they try and summon something, Dark World Punishment, negate that, discard a fiend if we had a fiend, and then of course we have Skill Drain, whoops, to negate all monster effects. Not the best outcome. We didn't have our rainbow in the start hand, of course, but still a fantastic outcome with the Genta Gates combo. We'll look at one more hand with the Genta and the rainbow. There it is, once again, Genta, rainbow, we even have Grapha, which is fantastic, so we can really get this combo going off. It might be good to activate Gates of Dark World Archives right away, but there is no need to do that, so we're going to use our Genta. Just like before, adding Gates of Dark World to the hand. Then we're going to activate Gates, banishing the Genta. Discard our Rainbow. And draw 1 card. Activate Rainbow, chain Genta. Genta gets special summoned. Rainbow then allows us to add silver to our hand since we've already got a Grapha. And then we're going to use Rainbow's other effect to bounce the Genta. Special summon our Rainbow. And then Genta's effect from the hand. Discard. Add Gates of Dark World to the hand, and activate our Gates. Now at this point we've got to make a decision whether or not to activate Dark World Archives since we do have it in the hand. We also, however, have another Genta. It could be a little risky to keep that there, so I think we're going to use our Dark World Archives now. May as well, there's no reason not to. Then we're going to use Gates of Dark World, banish the Genta from our graveyard. Discard our Grapha, and draw another card. Then, since we discard a card by a Dark World effect, Dark World Archives will activate. We can discard 1 card to draw 2. Of course, Grapha's effect will also activate, allowing us to destroy a monster or destroy a card if we can. And then Silver's effect will activate, special summoning silver to the field. Then we can use Grapha's effect to bounce the silver to our hand, and special summon our Grapha once again to the field, having now 2 boss monsters on the field. We could also bounce our Rainbow. In fact, it would probably be better, I think, to bounce the Rainbow instead of the silver in this case. So that's my mistake there. So we'll bounce the Rainbow, not the silver, to special summon Grapha. Now, of course, we have Dark World Dealings, and we have Genta. So we're going to use our Genta, discard the Genta, add a Gates of Dark World to the hand. Notice how we still have 6 cards in our hand, so we're still looking at +1 with a starting hand of 5. That's ridiculous. Now we're going to ditch our Gates to activate a second copy of Gates. Activate a second copy of Gates. Sometimes this takes a while. Dueling Book, there we go. Now we're going to banish our Genta from the graveyard once again. This is ridiculous. And discard our Rainbow to draw 1 card. Now, with Rainbow's effect, we can either add our silver or our Grapha to the hand. I think in this case, I would probably go for the Grapha. Since we have a session, we have dealings, we can bust out our Grapha again. I think adding the Grapha to the hand would be a much better choice. I really like that. I like that option to add Grapha to the hand. Next up, we are going to activate Rainbow's effect from our graveyard, of course returning silver to the hand. That gets our silver in hand. We're going to special summon our Rainbow. Fantastic. Now, of course, we have Dark World Dealings. We have Danger Mothman. We're going to go into Dark World Accession next. We're going to discard our Grapha, activating its effect to destroy. We're going to discard our silver. Again, it is a discard with Dark World Accession. That's crazy. And then we'll fusion summon Grapha Dragon Overlord. Silver will then be special summoned to the field. And then, of course, we can return silver to our hand to special summon our Grapha. Once again, we now have 4 3,000 attack point boss monsters on the field, silver waiting in hand to use with Grapha's effect, which will then put 2 of our opponent's cards into the deck, and special summon himself for another 2,300 attack points. We have a Dark World Punishment set. You can only use 1 punishment per turn, so you don't necessarily need to set both of them. We have a Mothman in the hand, a Dealings in the hand, a second punishment, 4 boss monsters. It will be 5 as soon as our opponent activates something. Silver will be summoned. They'll return 2 of their cards, and we still have 3 cards in our hand. 5 boss monsters, 3 cards in hand, more plays that we can make next turn. This combo is ridiculous, and that all comes off of a 2-card combo with Genta and Rainbow. That is how Dark Worlds are done. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope this combo was useful to you. If you have the Dark World structure... Well, that was awkward. If you have the Dark World structure deck, then I highly recommend checking out my other video on how to play the one copy of the Dark World structure deck, how to play the Dark World structure deck in general, and then my video which was just released the other day. Again, I'll leave a card up here or the end card at the end. Yeah, that video will show you how to combine 3 copies of the Dark World structure deck into one amazing deck, which will allow you to pull off bogus like this. I mean, this is just ridiculous. This is out of your mind wacko over here. And that sort of thing can even be pulled off with 1 copy of the Dark World structure deck. It won't be quite as good, but you can get out a bunch of boss monsters. You can get out your rainbow, your you can get out your rainbow, your Graphy, your other Graphy, your silver. It's crazy. Bounce 2 of your opponent's cards back into the deck. It's ridiculous. That is the power of the Dark World structure deck. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Leave your comments down below. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you have any other tips for Dark Worlds. We've got next week I'm going to show you the best additions to add to the Dark World deck, so best cards to put in the Dark World deck outside of the Dark World structure deck, and then we're going to do a Dark World meta analysis. So be sure to subscribe if you want to see those videos. Stick around for more. Thank you very much for watching. My name has been Senkara, and until next time, see ya.